Okay, so what kind of situation we have at the moment on Euro NZD? Now, from a daily perspective, we have very strong support here, again support at this area, turned again support here. So we have very strong support at this zone from a daily perspective. But where does this support actually come from? It comes from the weekly time frame, where we have this previous resistance, which is now turned support here. So on the weekly, we have strong support at this area, but at the same time, on the daily, we also have this resistance here. So currently, the market is trapped between this previous support turn resistance and this previous resistance turn support from a weekly perspective. Therefore, the market is trapped inside of this channel. So immediately we already know that until the market will remain inside of the zone, we're not interested in potential opportunities on this pair. What we can also notice if we go on the monthly time frame is that if you remember when the market was around this area, we said we want to see the market make a drop to the downside to go and test this previous resistance, not on support from a monthly perspective, but most importantly, we wanted to see the market complete this overextended W formation at the neckline. And what another thing that we can do here on the monthly is if you want informations on this retracement, how are you supposed to be taking your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse? And if we do that, okay, if we take our Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse, we can see that currently the market is still respecting the 0.618, aka the golden ratio from a monthly perspective. Now we know that the market is trapped. Okay, we have support here, and we have resistance at this level. So how are we supposed to be approaching this? That is exactly what we will be speaking about right now. But first, let's go and see what is the situation from a Euro and a NZD perspective if we check this COT data, so the commitment of traders, what hedge funds are doing at the moment in the market. Let's start by analyzing what we have from a Euro point of view. So on the euro, what we can clearly see with the last reports is that hedge funds are continuously adding thousands of short positions. But if you look at the longer term on the euro, we can see that we went from minus 114k net positions all the way up to 75k net positions. So in the long term, we have a big shift from having more shorts than longs to having more longs than shorts. So in the long term, we can expect euro strength, and in fact, we're already seeing it. And from an NZD perspective, we don't really have anything interesting. Currently, net position didn't really change much with the last reports, so nothing really interesting. Going back to the chart, we know that we can expect some a long-term a euro strength. So how we will be approaching this kind of situation? Now on the weekly, as we have already seen, we have strong weekly support at this area. Until this support it will be broken to the downside, we can't be looking for any potential shorting opportunities. But this could change in the future. So the easy way to approach this kind of situation is, as usual in the market, being reactive and not predictive. If the market will manage to break above this support, above this resistance, then all this resistance will be turned support at this area. And after the market will go for a retest of the zone, how we will be approaching this situation with students. We will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entry, we will be taking a nice long with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for a move to the upside. On the other side, okay, if the market will manage to break to the downside, then we have to wait to see a weekly close below this structure. If the market will manage to break below the structure from a weekly perspective, so closing below it, then we will have also weekly resistance at this zone, as well as having obviously previous daily support here that will be turned resistance at this area. And at that point, after the market will go for a retest of this confluence of resistance, how we will be approaching this with students. We will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And if the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, then we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for a move to the downside, completion of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside, and test of this previous resistance that will be then turned support at this area. So this is overall how we will be approaching Euro NZD, as usual, being reactive and not predictive. If you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.